Some men leave a lasting imprint not because of what they say or do, but because of how they exist in a space. The man she remembers doesn't try to control her, he controls the space around her. There's a difference. Most men adjust themselves constantly, responding to her moods, trying to keep the peace, to avoid conflict, to be liked. They bend, apologize too quickly, walk on eggshells in the name of being good, but she doesn't remember them. Remembers the one who didn't try to manage her emotional waves, but stood still in the storm. His calm had presence, spoke louder than words. Stillness wasn't weakness, it was weight. He didn't flinch when she got cold. He didn't chase when she pulled away. He didn't raise his voice when things got tense. Because he wasn't trying to control the person, he was rooted in controlling himself. And that kind of internal discipline is rare. It's what made her feel something deeper, something ancient, safety, gravity. He didn't posture, didn't puff his chest or shrink into silence. He was simply centered, grounded, unshaken. When he entered a room, people noticed without him saying a word. They adjusted instinctively to his presence, not because he demanded it, but because he embodied it. Most men are noisy, trying to prove their place. This man didn't try at all. He didn't orbit others. He was the center of his own gravity. And because he wasn't moved by outside emotions, he became a mirror, a mystery, a presence that lingered. She never forgot how it felt to stand next to a man who didn't need her reactions to validate. His stability, that sense of unshakable control, it's not over her, but over himself, burned into her memory. Most men feel the need to explain their worth. They talk about their goals, list their accomplishments, remind you of what they've done and what they plan to do. They try to earn respect with words, hoping to be seen as valuable through effort and explanation. But the man she remembers never did that. He never tried to convince anyone of his value, he embodied it. It was in his silence, in his decisions. In the way he carried himself without needing applause, she could feel it before he even spoke. There was something about the way he moved, the way he kept his standards firm and his boundaries intact. That said, more than any story ever could. He didn't have to name drop or show off. He didn't beg for recognition, and he never explained himself. He wasn't performing, he was just being, and that was more powerful than any carefully crafted image. He had the kind of confidence that didn't need to be loud. It wasn't built on compliments or external validation. It was rooted in self-respect. When he walked into a room, he wasn't waiting to be noticed. He already knew who he was. Because he wasn't chasing approval, she found herself wondering if she was good enough for him. That shift the moment she realized he wasn't trying to win her over created something deeper than attraction. It created curiosity. She didn't understand how someone could be so complete, so full, without needing to be seen. That mystery pulled at her. And long after he was gone, she remembered the way he made her feel without trying to make her feel anything at all. Because when a man lives like his value is already understood, the world, including her, starts to see it too, even if he never says a word. Passion is everywhere. It's loud, emotional, impulsive. It burns hot and fast, and then it fades. Most men lead with passion. They chase dreams with fire, talk about their goals with intensity, and throw themselves into what excites them in the moment. But the man she remembers, he didn't just have passion. He had purpose. That's a completely different kind of energy. Purpose is steady. It doesn't shout. It doesn't need an audience. It's seen in quiet discipline, in daily habits. In the way a man moves through life with direction, this man didn't just get excited about things, he built them. He didn't just talk about what he wanted. He aligned his actions with it. Every choice he made felt intentional. Every step, deliberate. She noticed it in the little things. How he protected his time. How he didn't get distracted by drama or temporary pleasure. How he said no more than he said yes, not out of arrogance, but because he had a path, and he wouldn't veer from it to impress anyone, not even her. He wasn't unavailable. He was focused. There's a difference. He could love someone deeply, but he would never abandon himself to do it. And that's what struck her the most. He didn't make her feel like she was his whole world, but somehow that made her want to earn her place in it. Because when a man refuses to lose himself for a relationship, He becomes the kind of man a woman doesn't want to lose. His purpose gave him gravity. His direction gave him value. And long after he was gone, she remembered the way he moved, not just with fire, but with clarity. He didn't live for attention. He lived for something bigger, and that's what made him unforgettable. Every woman tests, though many don't realize they're doing it. It's not always conscious or calculated, it's instinct. She's not trying to hurt you. She's trying to feel something real. She's searching for stability, for the unshakable energy of a man who won't fold when things get uncomfortable. Most men fail those tests. They get emotional, reactive, defensive. They take the bait, fall into the drama, and then wonder why her respect fades. But the man she remembers, he never took it personal. He didn't flinch. When she went silent, he didn't panic. When her mood shifted, he didn't chase. When she pulled back, he didn't push forward blindly. Just watched, observed, stayed grounded. Not cold, not distant, but calm, present, unaffected. That kind of emotional composure is rare. It tells her that no matter how high the emotional waves get, he won't drown. He won't be manipulated, and he won't try to control her. He's centered, and she can feel it. That calm in the face of chaos. That's what builds trust. That's what creates a different kind of attraction, the kind rooted in respect. When she tested him, she wasn't looking for a fight. She was looking for a foundation, a sense that his emotions were his own, not something she could control or derail. And when she realized she couldn't move him like she could move others, something shifted inside her. He didn't need to assert dominance. He didn't need to prove strength. Simply didn't react in that stillness. She saw everything. She saw a man who knew himself so deeply that her tests became opportunities, not threats. And that level of unshakable presence, it made her feel safe. It made her curious. It made her remember. Because respect, once given freely, rarely fades. He didn't leave in anger. He didn't raise his voice or make a scene. There were no long, drawn-out explanations, no desperate final words, no emotional pleas. He left quietly with clarity, peace, and intention. And that's exactly why she remembers him. Because while most men exit with noise, trying to be heard, one last time he didn't need to be heard. His silence said everything. She expected a text, a check-in, some kind of attempt to reopen the door, but it never came. He didn't need to remind her of what she lost. He didn't need to prove his value on the way out. Already knew it. The fact that he didn't come back to see if she missed him, that's what haunted her. Because most men return when the silence gets too heavy. He didn't. He left like a man who was already whole. He didn't need closure. He didn't need to punish her or convince her of anything. He didn't slam the door. He simply walked through it and never looked back. And that kind of exit, it echoes. Not just because of what he didn't say, but because of what he didn't need to say. That silence made her confront everything on her own. No drama to distract her, no attention to soften the blow, just absence, pure and deafening. And in that space, she realized what most don't until it's too late. He didn't leave to get a reaction. He left because he knew his worth. And he refused to stay where it wasn't met. The men she forgets are the ones who clung too tightly, who tried. Too hard to leave a mark. But he never tried to be remembered. He simply lived and left in a way that made forgetting him impossible.